The wiper motor is mounted on the firewall of the pickup truck, and it has basically 3 screws, 1, 2, 3, to remove, to get to the board. We have a circuit board that's inside of this housing. This screw right here might be the hardest one to get to. It's kind of close to this fan housing that's over here on the firewall. And I'm using a little Allen wrench set. And it would probably be better if you had a 1-bit Allen wrench. You can drop these, so you have to kind of go easy and be very deliberate. But basically, we've got 3 little bolts that hold this plate up. And once we remove all 3, what we need to do next is to unplug the plug-in that actually goes down to the motor and the controls. And this one has the little plastic pin missing, and so it will remove quite easy. And if it wasn't for that, you would have to remove that little pin which holds the plug, the connector in. Once you remove that, remove this plate, put it to the side. I'll put my tool right there. You can reach and work this back and forth. And it should remove like that. It has to come straight out. And then you can see the board. There's all the components, resistors, capacitors, what have you. And this is the connector. And what happens is this plug connection is soldered onto the board right here, the printed circuit board. You can see right there where it connects to the board. What happens with vibration and time? It breaks this solder joint right here. And what we have to do is to resolder this joint to make it solid again. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to take it over to the table where we can put some light on it, where I have a little soldering iron preheated, and we're simply going to rejoin this joint right here. Alright, what we got now, we got our board over here where we can put it on the table, give it some stability, where it can be held or positioned in the right way. And what we're going to do is take our soldering iron, and this happens to be a 12-watt iron. Now, the reason I'm using this small of iron is so that I might not lift the bridge that's on the circuit board. When you're soldering on circuit boards of this nature, too much heat can damage the foil, the bridge. And so you got to be very careful, and for that reason I'm using a 12-watt soldering iron. And also the type of solder is very important. On electronic equipment, you don't want to use acid core solder, you want to use rosin core solder. And this is 60-40, which is 60% tin and 40% lead. And it's rosin core. Again, the acid core type solder will destroy electronic circuitry. So that's important that you use this type of sorter, and you also use a 12 watt or 15 watt would be all right. But what it amounts to, your soldering iron, once I know where the problem's at, it's in this joint right here, where the plug again connects to the board. Right here on I refer to that as a bridge. And of course that's the route of the circuit. We call this a bridge. And you hold the soldering iron to it to the extent or to the time that it actually melts. You can see it melting right there. And apply the solder, and that will fuse again that joint and make that joint solid. What happened again is that there was vibration, and in time it caused a crack, which in essence caused a loose connection. And a loose connection gives you intermitting problems. You know, before you could take and tap in this plug area and the motor would start working. But the least bit of vibration in use, it would stop working again. And so there was the contemplation whether or not to replace this whole circuit board. And I have not priced these boards, but anything in electronics, this is a Delco product, of course. You know, I would just be guessing how much that board would cost, but it would be a substantial cost. But this way, we have repaired it. When we take that crack away and we have stopped the loose connection, we have a solid connection now. And once we reinstall this, we're going to be in good shape. And it really cost us no more than probably maybe 20 minutes time, a little 60-40 sorter, 60-40, and 12-watt iron. And the little tool that I use to take it apart, which is a hex wrench. Now, all right, we're ready to replace the board. There's a little groove right here, and it must match up with this portion right here. And take it in easy, straight forward, with a little even pressure from side to side until it goes in place. That's about as far as it's going to go. Then replace the cover. Now just snug these, because you've got metal against plastic, and if you torque them too much, there's always a possibility when you tuck or torque a metal screw into a plastic housing, you have to be careful, just finger tight. I generally put 2 fingers on my wrench and use that as kind of a gauge. This one is the most difficult. Once we get it started, it should go just fine. Again, when you get close, just snug it with the 2 fingers. And then it's time to reconnect your plug. And your plug is configured where it will only go one way. Make sure that it's connected. And it's good. Now, the proof will be in the pudding, as the old saying goes. We'll check and see if the wiper motor operates all right now this time.